Waken with Grace Care, Personal Care and In-Home Services, and here again to talk with another community member about a program or service or activity that has special relevance or interest to seniors in our community. And today our guest will be probably familiar to you if you watch very often. I've got Deb Sexton with me today, and she is on television, Enid Television Network quite regularly with her exercise classes that she does through Enid, through Senior Life Network. And today I've gotten her to sit down for a minute and talk to us about some things that she's very passionate about. And she is very passionate about many things. And so I hope that you'll find this interesting. I think you will. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for meeting with us today. So you have been doing exercise classes for some time with Senior Life Network.
That's
Tell
correct.
me a little bit about that, about what you do, how you got started.
Okay. Well, we moved to Enid almost 20 years ago, and all the children were in school, elementary, middle school, and high school. And I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And the way I attended to it, so I did not have to take medication, was I needed to exercise 4 times a week. And so I got involved at the Y so that I could meet people. And then one person asked me if I would be interested in being an instructor. And so I thought, well, that would be really fun. It would be something I could do when the kids were at school. And so I took training to be an instructor and started teaching.
Now,
and
what
then,
kind of class did you teach at that time?
At that time, I taught a bench step class,
Okay.
straight bench, and that was it. And then I was asked to substitute teach for a gal out at Senior Life Network, and she had the bench step, a low impact aerobic, and a strength and flexibility or sit and be fit with a chair and in the chair and out of the chair, not on the floor. And so I took her turn, and she called me the next week, and she said that her husband got transferred to Mexico,
Oh my.
New Mexico, and would I be interested in having her job? And so I was, and the people have been so wonderful,
Great.
so much fun,
Yeah.
very loving and kind, and just very, very fun. And so I have been out there for almost 18 years now.
Great.
And
And if I
so-
understand correctly, you've kind of expanded your classes and your
Yes.
offerings and your
Yes.
role out there. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Well, we do a bench step class at 8:30 in the morning, and that is our most intense, high intensity class.
Okay. Is that
And it's
every
for people
morning of the week?
That is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at
Okay.
8:30. And then after that, at 9:35, I have a low impact aerobic class,
Okay.
and we do work for the upper body, lower body, the belly, back, and spine. And at 10:35, we have a strength and flexibility where you sit in a chair and you stand beside the chair,
Okay.
so you're not getting up and down off the floor.
Okay, now would that include like range of motion type activities?
That does
and-
include range of motion. In fact, I do a lot of therapeutic exercise with my people because that's what I was trained in and certified for. And then we have at 11:35 we have yoga.
Great.
And it's beginning yoga, gentle yoga for the 11:30 class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I have a more advanced class on Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8:30, where people who have taken yoga before and know how to do sun
Right.
salutes and different things that it is appropriate for them.
Okay.
And I do specialty classes in that as well.
And how is your attendance in these classes? Are they pretty packed? Are they lightly attended? Does it
I
vary?
would say we have, I'd say small to medium classes
Okay.
in all the classes, and so there's always room for more people. And of course, some people schedule with vacation or different
Sure.
work or different things like that.
Sure.
Then we have some regulars and we have some irregular regulars.
Yeah, right.
And so we just take people whenever they get a chance to come.
Great. Well, I know that some folks, especially seniors, can be concerned about, I don't want to show up for an exercise class. I've never done it before. I feel silly. They're all a bunch of hard bodies. I'm going to feel like I don't know what I'm doing. What would you say to those folks?
We tell people, even if you've been walking, gardening, doing other activities, the exercise classes are different. They work different muscles in different ways. So give yourself, I ask my people to give me 3 to 6 months before they get used to me and know all the different things that we do and get all the other the body parts attended to. And I always tell people, in the olden days, it was no pain, no gain. Well, we don't go by that. If you feel pain, you need to stop. I give modifications for people so that they can go to what their body's ability is.
Good, and that's good to know, and that sounds like kind of my kind of exercise thing. I don't want to hurt
That's
at all.
right, that's right. You can feel the muscle, and that's okay. If you have pain in a joint, you need to stop.
Yes.
And if people come in and they've got backache, knee ache, shoulder pain, different things like that, then I kind of tailor the exercise to them, because they're not the only one in class with a backache or knee pain or shoulder.
That's a good point. And it sounds like you're very capable of working with someone to know where a good place to start is and where to watch for their limitations and that kind of thing.
And I always give modifications. We have A, we have choice B, we have choice C. So do what your body needs. And some days our bodies can do more than others, and some days we feel better than others.
That's a good point. Now, you mentioned to me that you do some work with folks maybe who are recovering from an illness or an injury or preparing for surgery or returning. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So that is my energy medicine work that I've been doing for several years. I have an office out at Senior Life Network. And energy medicine, I was trained by Donna Eden in her energy medicine program. And Donna Eden was a person that she got MS when she was 16 years old. And when she was in her early 20s, she got it so severely. She got married. She was in college. She got married. She had 2 children. And she was bedridden at the age of 25 for 2 years. And at 27, she had a heart attack. She went to 5 different doctors. They all told her to put her affairs in order and get a caretaker for her children. And she could see energy with her eyes, like I can see Lori has a beautiful periwinkle blue shirt on and brown slacks. And she could see the shapes of the energy. And so she saw the energies in her body, and she developed these exercises to connect the energies up. Well, over the course of 6 weeks, she connected up the energies over and over and over to develop a healthy pattern in her body, and she got out of bed and walked across the room. Today, instead of dying when she was 28 years old like she was supposed to do, she just turned 71, and she is so vibrant, fun, and loving. You would probably think she was in her 40s. And she travels all over the world teaching doctors, nurses, caregivers, and some regular normal people like me to do energy medicine techniques.
Okay, so when you say energy medicine, if I hear you correctly, this is a holistic alternative to some traditional, maybe medication-based or physical therapy-based options for health and wellness and healing.
Yes.
So medicine doesn't necessarily mean, an over-counter medication that you might take. It's just a technique.
No. Dr. Oz said energy medicine is the next new frontier. And so it's a complementary alternative energy system. It can stand on its own, and you can use it very well with your doctor that you're used to going to. It is an Eastern-based energy technique to find the root cause of what is causing the physical symptoms in the body.
Or maybe emotional symptoms or
That's
mental.
Correct. So every symptom, physical symptom in the body has a mental and emotional component to it. And all the organs in the body have a part of the brain that they're connected to, and an energy and emotion connected to it as well, when they're out of balance and when they're in balance. So we go to the root of the problem and work with that, and oftentimes we can circumvent before the person has to get medication. Or if they're on medication, then oftentimes through energy medicine techniques, they can bring their body into a balance and alignment where they can lessen the medication under their doctor's orders, of course, or even get off of it. Because oftentimes it has adverse side effects.
Really? And of course, yes, we are all aware and increasingly aware of the dangers of the side effects of medications, and I think people are becoming increasingly concerned and interested in finding some alternatives. So when you talk about these energies, I don't see energies with my eyes, and so explain to me how I can recognize those or maybe try to understand them better. Can you demonstrate?
We can demonstrate something, and I'm so glad you asked, because many people are not familiar with energy, and it's just like going to the gym. If you walked in the gym and someone said, contract your bicep, maybe you know where it's at and maybe you don't. And so with energy work, we go inward and we feel different things in our body. But one thing that you can do is like rub your hands together. So if you'd be willing, just rub your hands together, and if people at home would be willing to do that as well.
And that's something you kind of do instinctively sometimes anyway, under certain
That's exactly right. And so what do you feel?
Well, warmth.
Warmth,
warming up,
friction.
softness.
And then after you rub for a few seconds, take your hands apart and put them back and forth mouth like you're going to hold a little ball. And oftentimes people will be able to feel a sensation. Maybe they call it pressure, maybe it might feel like tingles.
I feel a little, maybe like a magnetic
Yes, that's
field,
exactly
a little
right.
bit of a push.
That's exactly right, because our bodies are made of electromagnetic energy. Magnetic energy comes up from the earth into our bodies, and electrical energy comes from the heavens, so that you have a mix, a balance of yin and yang energy in the body.
Okay, that's starting to sound familiar.
Yes, and one more little thing with this is an easy way for people to see the energy that flows through their body.
Okay.
So, excuse me, so you're like a conductor. If I hold this silver tab on this side, it doesn't do anything. If I hold this side, excuse me, it buzzes and beeps. And anyone can do it. So would you like to try,
that
Lori?
exactly? Well, now hang on again, it didn't do it.
No, you do it yourself
do it.
first.
Okay.
And this actually shows dehydration, because your body needs water to conduct the electromagnetic energy. But if you hold it and it's not doing anything, then you need to drink
You're
water.
dehydrated.
You're
Okay.
dehydrated. And this I got at Hobby Lobby in their children's department with the science experiments.
Steve Spangler's energy stick.
Yeah, it's just called an energy stick. So if you hold one end and I hold the other end, it doesn't do anything. But if we hold hands, then it buzzes and beeps. If we let go, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And you can do this with 100 people in the room.
Huh.
As long as you're connected, then it buzzes and beeps.
So something is going on there. Absolutely.
So this kind of demonstrates how your energy affects other people. So if you've ever been in a situation where people say you could cut the tension with a knife,
absolutely,
then that's what you're feeling, that energy. If you've ever been meet someone new and they come up to you and they get too close, you feel like they're in your space, because they literally are in your space, because one of your energy fields is the aura, which extends out to your fingertips or maybe beyond. It goes all the way around you, over your head and under your feet, and that literally is your space.
Wow.
So the energy medicine exercises I can give people, and I do some of them in class, then they're for pain relief. They're for balancing and aligning the energy so you feel good, so you feel more vitality, so that you feel comfortable in your body, so that you can do things. I have 4 grandchildren right now, expecting another one, and I want to go skiing with them. I want to chase them around the block. I want to take them swimming. I don't want to just sit in the chair and not do anything with them. So it allows me to be comfortable in my body and healthy, so that I have fun doing things with them.
Well, you do seem to have a tremendous amount of energy.
Oh,
and
good.
Positive energy and health and vitality, and so that's a walking testimony as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, good.
Tell me about some of the folks that come to Senior Life Network that maybe have never heard of this and that you have explained it to, maybe gone through some of the program and maybe some changes that you've seen.
Okay, well, some people, I have one lady that is in my exercise classes, and she was scheduled for knee surgery, and coming up to the knee surgery, she had to wait, and she had huge pain, and so she got down where she had to have a cane, and then she was even not coming to class because it was so painful. And I gave her some exercises, energy medicine exercises to do while she was waiting for her surgery. She did the exercises, and by the time she went for her surgery, she didn't have any pain.
Oh, wow.
And she also came in right before her surgery for a pre-surgery protocol where I balanced all the energy systems in her body. When she went to the surgeon, it was much easier for the doctor to do the surgery. When she came out of surgery, she needed less pain medication. She healed almost 50% faster.
Wow.
And she was making great strides, and she's never had any trouble with her knees again.
That is
so some of the
fantastic.
exercises, if you do when you're in that pain or discomfort, and then after the pain goes away and your body is balanced, you don't have to do it anymore unless you feel like it or you get a little twinge.
Right.
So,
and can you give us an example of what maybe one of those exercises might look like? Is it, an exercise like a physical therapy?
Well,
or?
it's a little involved. I would, if depending on how much time we have, I'd like to do a little one that's shorter.
Sure.
But if anyone comes to class, if they mention it, I will give them a handout on it, and I will show them how to do it.
Great.
For the knees. But for one easy one is connecting up your energies. So all you do is take the tall middle finger and stick it in your belly button.
Okay.
and then take the other tall middle finger and stick it in between your eyebrows. And you might want to try this too, Lori.
Okay.
And if
And
people at home,
you don't have to find your belly button under your clothes.
under
anything,
your
I
clothes,
guess.
and one
Okay.
finger in between the eyebrows, and you're just going to lift up with gentle pressure
Okay.
in and up. And you're going to hold it and breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth.
Okay.
So this is connecting the energies on the front and back side of the body, called central and governing meridians. So on the front side is central, and there's a little fish hook in the back of the throat that looks like this. Governing meridian goes up the back and spine over the top of the head, and there's a little fish hook like this on the back of the throat from governing. So you're connecting up the energies together like this. So you have a continuous flow of energy in your body, somewhat like this.
Great.
And the thing about it is, that is gentle to the body, but it's also extremely powerful. It can bring someone out of a grand mal seizure in 2 minutes.
Wow.
And the reason is because the synapses in the brain start to misfire. There's a time period where you have 5 to 15 minutes that you exhibit pre-seizure behavior or activity. So if a person connects up their energies, then that keeps the synapses, the little activity, electrical impulses in the brain connected instead of misfiring. And so
Kind of restores equilibrium there, I
yes.
guess. Absolutely.
And also babies, when they have that sucking reflex, if babies don't have a good sucking reflex, they die. They don't
Really?
thrive, especially preemie babies. And so that action of sucking in, like on a straw or on a cigarette, connects the energies in the body.
Might explain to some degree why some folks have oral fixations or
That's
tendencies.
exactly right. So if a person has a very hard time quitting smoking, it's not just the nicotine factor, which is addictive, it's connecting their energies up because that's what their body is used to. So this gives you an alternative to something like that, replacing a habit that's not so healthy for your body with one that is.
Right.
And
Well,
so,
and I can imagine, especially for seniors, if you're struggling with some health issues, with some anxiety or depression, I imagine even loneliness, some mental, emotional types of things.
That's exactly
some
right.
of these non-threatening, they're not damaging to your body, you're not in danger of hurting yourself, maybe from exerting yourself too much, or taking yet another medication when you may already be on more than you want to be on. This might be a great option to try to get some relief, to get a little bit of your positive aspect back, your sense of well-being and calm.
That's what most people come to me first, is because they're in pain. It may be physical pain, it may be emotional grief, sadness, depression, anxiety, different things like that. And so the energy medicine balances give techniques for people to take home and do themselves, and also because it puts the power back into your hands. When you can make yourself feel better and keep your own energies balanced, then you don't get sick as frequently. Your immune system is strengthened. And if you do go off in the ditch, then you get out faster.
Great. And
So,
grief therapy, that was something I hadn't even thought about, but many seniors are dealing with the loss of a spouse or a loved one, or a pet or a child. And
I also deal with people with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and maybe they're not always in the military. Maybe they had a trauma, or one of their children died, or they had some big incident in their life, and it helps them overcome that in a safe, gentle way to the body.
Wonderful.
And it's very effective.
Well, this is fascinating, Deb, and I really do believe, I agree that some of these holistic, natural methods are really becoming more and more accepted, and it's becoming more proven that they are effective. And so I think what you're doing is fascinating. We're running out of time, unfortunately. So is there anything else that you would like for the community to know, or that you'd like to share?
Energy medicine is so gentle, you can use it on your newborn baby or your favorite pet. And my youngest client was brand new baby, firstborn, and my oldest client is over 100 years old.
Wow.
So it's safe and effective for any age.
Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're
If you have
welcome.
any questions for Deb, feel free to contact her at the contact information on your screen, Senior Life Network, or you can look up her website, or you can contact me, Lori Waken at Grace Care. Thank you.